Hello, everyone. Welcome to an episode of the Expertise Podcast. I'm Shelby Joe Long with the Expertise Project and Business Dynamics. And I use this platform, I use this podcast and YouTube to be able to interview experts that have created a business from their expertise to help inspire you to think outside of what you have in your own knowledge and own intellectual property and how you can turn that into a business. And I like to interview experts that have done that and that are very successful to inspire you and to inspire me. We can all learn from each other in this process. And I'm excited today to move forward with this interview. I'm talking with Kelli Maxwell today. Kelli Maxwell is a very well-known marketing expert in town and does some really unique, authentic videos and does some unique marketing for people. And she has a really interesting business that she built from the ground up. And I'm very excited to talk with Kelli today about the story behind her business and about where she sees her business going in the future. So Kelli, welcome. I'm glad that you decided that you could come to the interview today and give us your story and give us some inspiration about what we can do for our own business. So
yes, thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. Kelli, you do a much better job of introducing yourself than I do. So can you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your business before we get into
it? I can. Yeah. So I'm Kelli Maxwell, Kelli with an I. Gotta throw that in there. Yeah. I own Ember Marketing Group, and I started as a princess. So we can just start there because that's a fun icebreaker to say. So I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur ever since I was little. I just knew no one could be the boss of me. I was that kid. And I never knew what I was going to do or what I was meant to do. And I got a job at a financial firm as just like a secretary when I was 18. And over 10 years, I worked my way up to marketing director. So really thankful for that position. That was, back when newspaper and radio and TV ads were more relevant than they are now. So I got to work with a lot of big industry leaders here locally on that kind of content and learning how that industry worked. I learned a lot there. I found out I've always been creative, but really kind of cultivated, but insurance is boring. And so I got bored. And my boss wasn't he didn't want to step outside the box and make fun, silly videos about insurance. And so I really felt capped there. It got to the point where I had to have a creative outlet because I wasn't going to get my insurance license and become a salesman. And I wasn't fulfilled. And so I started a princess company in my mid-20s where on the weekends we dressed up like princesses and we performed at birthday parties and we did local events and parades. And it was so much fun. And that's really where I am a content creator because I started learning how to make little video clips and posting on Facebook and marketing my company, which I'm obviously very invested in. And then I was networking a lot to grow that. And I had a lot of freelance work on the side of other small business owners locally saying, hey, you're doing such a great job with the princesses. Can you help me with my Facebook page? And so I made the decision 3 years ago to quit my full-time job. I sold the princess company and just made the leap into full-time entrepreneurship. I'm starting a marketing agency. This is what I do. I'm a content creator, which is a little bit different than most marketers,
Yeah.
Anyone can write a generic blog about plumbing, for instance. Sure. I could do that, but nobody cares. No, we want to be entertained, right? That's why TikTok exists. That's why Instagram Reels exist. We just waste our time looking at nonsense all day, every day. So when people ask me how I got to where I am, truly it's because I post my own nonsense online and people are like, wow, you know what you're talking about. And that's how you become the expert, right? I currently have one of my highest performing LinkedIn posts up right now. I'm at 6,500 views or something. And it's just nonsense, that I post and get out in the world. And you do that consistently. And next thing you know, you're the expert of what you do because you're practicing what you preach. And so that's really how I've grown in the last 3 years on just my own personal brand as well as my marketing agency.
I think that's many things draw me to you and your business because the princess story. Yes. I love to dig more into that.
Uh-huh.
There is just so many interesting content and people are drawn to you because of your authenticity. Drawn to you because you're definitely outside of the box in what you do. And, you talk about writing a blog or having some content online, but can you talk about what you've seen the video piece and this authenticity add to a business, add to a company? Can you talk about that?
So I've my very first client, he's a realtor in town, and I didn't do really any videos. I'd take a quick little clip and post it, or like with the princesses, I'd get a picture of them twirling and slow motion it and post it. But like, I am not a video editor, right? And so 3 years ago, my first client, Tony, he said, hey, I really want to do a video of this new listing. I kind of want to walk through it and have it edited together nicely. A lot of realtors do these shaky lives of their new listings. He's like, I want it better. And I'm like, I panicked. I don't know anything about videos. And he said, well, if you're willing to learn and teach yourself, I'm willing to be uncomfortable and put myself on camera, and we'll just fumble through it together. And so we spent that whole fall. He gave me the space to practice, and my editing got better, and he got more comfortable on film. And that's really when I figured out that videos is what I love the best. Videos is what I meant to do. I have a secret superpower I didn't know I had of I hang out with people and I can tell you exactly what your brand is and who you are, and then bring that through in the content I create. And so that's what makes me different. Because like I said, a lot of these marketers, they'll overcharge and underdeliver. They'll give you just cookie cutter, generic garbage. So you can work with anyone all over the world. Anyone can do that. I actually spend time getting to know my clients. And that's what makes me different, is because it is authentic. I'm not going to post something that's not authentic to you and your personal brand and your business. So I spend a lot of time with my clients. I'm just a fly on the wall. I go to job sites, I film, and then per their style, per their brand, I edit their videos together. So then we're cranking out this consistent content that's 100% on brand for them. I tend to work with people that are drawn to me and vice versa. So they're fun, they're entertainers. So it's easy, to film and then edit. So I've got a guy, he does epoxy floors, and we've grown his brand from, being locally, regionally the best. Now worldwide, he is the epoxy king. He is the best. He has his own epoxy he's developed. He's the king, and everyone knows him as the king because we just consistently put out, and he always dances in his videos while he's pouring floors, and he's fun and he's awesome and he's engaging. And it's just that authentic. He's not afraid to be himself, and I'm not afraid to show that to the world. And it pays huge dividends. Like, it's incredible. We don't even run ads for him, and he just gets business all day long because we built his brand and reputation, and his videos are worldwide and everyone knows him as the king. And so that's just one example of what I do for people, which obviously takes time and consistency. But 2-3 years in now with most of my clients, they don't leave me because we have so much fun together. So every month we're just hanging out and creating awesome content. So I have a pretty sweet deal going. Someone told me recently I have a made up job. They're like, you literally made up a job for yourself and you pay yourself well, which is the truth. Everything. I have virtually no overhead. I've got some software expenses and employee expenses, but other than that, I don't have a lot of overhead. I'm not selling a product. I'm selling what's up here. So that's cool too.
Love to do. And I think you create such a genuine connection with your clients. And I am very excited for the branding piece that you're going to be doing with the strategic advisor board. And I think there's so many interesting things that just, it's that genuine personal connection that I think is lost in so much in marketing and media. I do a lot of work in branding, and which is, it's not mutually exclusive at all, but there's a lot of, being very direct about who you are and who you serve and what it is you do is key to begin that marketing, but then to build the personality behind the brand. That's what draws people in, because there are thousands of insurance agents, thousands of real estate agents, thousands of business coaches. How do you differentiate yourself? And I think that's something that what your business does can just create such an important piece for businesses. So
another example on that note, like you said, throw a rock and you hit a realtor in this town is what I always say. I have a new little client. He's a brand new little baby realtor, and he wants to hit the ground running. And he's like, what can we do? He's Hawaiian. So that's all we're doing is trust me, I'm Hawaiian. And that's his whole thing. So his videos are hilarious. He wears the Hawaiian shirts, and he's already set himself apart because he's using something authentic to him and being himself. And that's already working for his brand because it's fun. And he got, we ordered a little light up palm tree for him to hang his listing signs from in people's yards, like just all out on this is who I am and this is what I stand for. And then we just show that to people. And it's literally that easy. I mean, people overthink marketing, and you can read a million statistics and, theses on marketing. Marketing is simply showing people what you're up to and what you stand for. That's it. It doesn't have to be more than that. Just consistently show them that. They know exactly what you do. They know who you are. They know what you stand for. You'll attract your audience.
And that trust is built.
Because they trust you.
Yeah, they trust you. It's authentic. They can, even if it's hard to intend to be authentic.
Yep.
When you have the opportunity to capture that, which I think is one of the differentiating factors for you and your business, is that you are with them and you capture it. You don't try to create it. You try to create
and that's the other thing, is I get to know them, right? I'm listening when they talk. I'm listening them explain their product or what, and then I lock all that information in here, and I can bring all of that through in content too. So I'm not just posting generic stuff. I actually am posting exactly what you do and why it's the best, so that's the other thing of what I do differently. Is just I'm constantly learning and listening, and every time I'm on a job site with someone, I learn something new about what they do, which I get a lot of joy out of. That's fun for me,
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's fun. It's a pretty sweet gig I got going on here.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think that all of that is great. And we haven't talked about this, but we're both in Billings, Montana, and creating our businesses here. And so with your business, can you tell us a little bit more about, are you mobile? Can you go to other places and film for people? What does that look like?
Yeah, so I have been doing more of that. As I've grown my reputation here, I know how it happened. I got the nickname, the Content Queen. And like people I don't know will come up to me at networking meetings and be like, oh my God, you're Kelli Maxwell, the Content Queen. Like, it's silly, but you build a brand and your reputation precedes you, because, that's a play off. I used to be a princess too. Sure. And so I'm getting more well-known across the country too, and a lot of word of mouth from my existing clients of people they work with in other places. So I am doing more of those jobs where people will literally fly me out for a week just to film and create a bunch of content and hang out with them. And then I'll give them all of this stuff they can use for months and months to come. So that's been really fun for me too, because I like to travel. So I literally get paid to travel now. So when people say, living the dream, I'm actually living the dream, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's to be able to.
And people are just so cool. Like, I just love meeting new people, and we hang out, and I'm like, yeah, let me you do your thing. We'll get a little comfortable with me around, and then I'm just going to make you look good. I don't make anyone look bad, So that's the other fun thing too, is I'm a really good editor now. And my style of filming is I film, I don't script anyone unless it's specifically a campy video that needs to be scripted. I want to get those authentic shots. So now I have like a system of, as I film, I know exactly what shots I want to get. I know how I'm going to edit them together. So I kind of streamline my process too. So I'm not spending hours and hours poring over hours of footage, because I know exactly what clips I'm going to use already, because I captured the moment I wanted. So that's another thing that took time.
Sure.
And makes me efficient.
Experience is to be able to, the more you do it, the more you have that video camera and have that footage, then you know what you need. And I think that's, definitely a way to make things more efficient and more fun, and not so arduous to do all of that. And that's that, which just points to your growth. And it's exciting, because you're at this point of like, you're at this point where you've grown and you have such a successful business. And how do we take that to the next level? So that's a really fun place to be.
Yeah, I'm right in that painful growth part right now of, now my time's pretty much maxed out. How do I streamline, how do I pass other stuff off so I can focus on what I do best, which is hanging out with people and having my camera on.
Yeah. What's Kelli, you're a young entrepreneur. What's your vision of where you want to be with this business?
I want to get to 7 figures for sure. That's my first goal.
Sure.
I want to be in Forbes. That's just a personal goal of mine. I just want to bypass all the 40 under 40 locally and just go straight to national.
That's a goal that we share, that I didn't know. So
yep. I got named top 100 business leader this year by Top 100 magazine. And then I'm also going to be featured in another magazine coming up in a couple months. But yeah, my goal is to be in Forbes within the next year is what I want.
Which you absolutely can achieve that.
Yes, I think so, but I'm also a little arrogant. So I really I joke because people say that, like, how do you have so much confidence? Like, how do you consistently crank out so much content? Truly, I attribute that to being a princess, because that really that's what made me have such thick skin. I mean, you wouldn't believe how cruel people were and the trolls that came out on the internet. So once you don't give a crap what anyone thinks of you, it's game over. There's nothing you can't achieve. So that's another.
Yeah, for a similar experience, it's just like when you're out there in any way, there's going to be people that are critical.
There is.
That's the thick skin of an entrepreneur is something you don't learn that right away.
No,
you might have this great idea for a business, but then it's not going to be successful unless you test it and get some feedback. And some of the feedback is going to be negative. It's not all going to be positive. So you've got to adjust. And I think that's a really, really important part of a business. And one of the reasons you've been so successful. So.
Yeah. That was a lot of hard work personally to go through to get to the point of, if you don't like it, don't look, like, I don't care if you don't like me, keep scrolling, but and it's, once you get to that point, it's literally game over, because there's nothing anyone can say to me that's going to slow me down. I don't, people's opinions don't pay my bills. So that's what I always say, like, when I can deposit your opinions, I'll let you know. But until then, that's cute. So having that attitude helps a ton too, because now I honestly, I feel unstoppable, which is a nice position to be in.
That's a great position.
Constantly keeping myself in check. And I have a lot of people in my life I constantly bounce stuff off of, just to make sure I'm keeping myself in check and just continuing to grow on the right path.
Yeah, it's an important thing to have that strong community, which is just amazing that you've built that. And honestly, you've built that in such a short amount of time. And I think that's really very admirable. And I'm just so excited to see where it goes. And I mean, it makes me even more excited to spend some time with you at the end of the month to really get some work done. Yes. At the Strategic Advisor Board event. And I think there's so many possibilities for that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Kelli, what else can we know about your business? How can we get a hold of you if we would like to know more about your marketing, know about the offer, know about the process? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So actually, most people just contact me. Right now, I'm not spending any money. That's the other thing, is I have not spent one advertising dollar on my own marketing agency. It's all just been content and word of mouth. And so right now, people just get a hold of me either on LinkedIn, Facebook, they message me, whatever. You guys got me connected with Joel and ProShark. So they're building out a nice, awesome website for me. So that's coming down the pipeline. As soon as the new website's done, it would be website embermg.com, which I have an existing one you can check out. But the new one will be up soon, and I'm really excited for that. I'm prominently on LinkedIn, Kelli Maxwell on LinkedIn. And then Facebook, a lot of people, even Instagram, people find me and reach out on Instagram. So I'm just kind of everywhere, and I'm easy to find. So, and it's Kelli with an I makes it easier to find, you know.
Helps you stand out a little bit.
But
exciting about the new platform, the new all of that.
Yes, new processes. Then I'm gonna start dumping money into ads, and it's just gonna be crazy awesome after all that's done.
Yeah, well, I love seeing your content. I see it pretty frequently. I'm on LinkedIn quite a bit, so it's I see it pretty frequently, and I'm excited to see more of it, and I'm excited to see where your business goes. I'm very intrigued by everything, and to build a business out of this authentic platform, and to kind of break down the whole world of marketing, because the marketing's pretty intimidating for a lot of businesses like myself. That there's a lot of businesses that put thousands and thousands of dollars into marketing every month, and to think about this option that you don't have to, and you get this authentic piece out of it, I think is so key.
It's just it's so simple, and people just get scared by all this stuff they see online, and it's just so simple. Just post something, just practice. Your first little bit of content is going to suck and you're going to cringe, but you're going to get better and no one's going to remember it. And pretty soon you'll have your whole brand of what you stand for. And that's what they know. They don't remember specific posts. They just know Kelly's the whiskey podcast girl, or Kelly's the content queen. It totally works.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Kelli, what would you say to an entrepreneur or potential entrepreneur out there that might be thinking about stepping out, starting their own business, creating something that's theirs, that they're very passionate about? So, the old adage, you never work a day in your life if you do something you love.
Yep.
Which we all know is not necessarily true, but it makes it a whole lot easier to go to work when you love what you do. So what would you say to somebody that was maybe thinking about that?
I would say the biggest thing for me as a young entrepreneur was definitely surrounding myself with that support system. That, because it is such a roller coaster and you will have people say negative things. And until you get to that point where you don't care, my worth was connected to my princess business. And that's something I had to work through and grow from. So I know people start businesses because it's something they're passionate about, right? And when you're that invested, it's hard and it sucks, and people say things like, oh, you can't do that. So my best advice, and what I still lean on, is just get people in your corner that you can always go back to, that shoot it to you straight, that will support you no matter what. I still have down days where I think I suck and maybe I should just get a real job. What do I think I'm doing? I still have those days sometimes. Sure. And those are the days when I reach out to my people and they say what I need to hear. And my one friend says, that's cute. Talk to me tomorrow when you're over yourself. Just like all sorts of people that, you give them permission to shoot it to you straight and help you work through the hardest things. Because without that, people do fail. You have to have a positive, great reinforcement support system. And I couldn't do what I'm doing without. I call them the Kelli Committee. I literally have 10 people in my life that all different perspectives, all different walks of life, but they have permission to give me feedback when I ask for it. And that's been hugely necessary. And even when I feel stuck, hey, I'm stuck here. I know you're going to think about this differently. Help me. That kind of stuff is important.
The Kelli Committee.
The Kelli Committee.
Every entrepreneur needs their own committee.
Yes, they do.
So true.
They do.
And that comes in, whether you're part of masterminds or whether you have your own individual group.
Whatever it is.
Whatever that is, you need that. I completely resonate with that.
Yes.
And I think that is well, and being an entrepreneur is knowing that you can't do it all, right?
Yeah.
You should do what you do best and help, ask other people when you can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be my biggest advice. Set up that foundation, and then there's nothing that can stop you, right? You'll always have your people to back you. You'll keep growing. And then pretty soon you're like, holy crap, I can't believe people know me nationwide. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Kelli, any final thoughts before we wrap it up? Any new exciting things down the pipeline that we should be knowing about?
The website. I'm really excited for the new website.
I will have my walkthrough this week of mine and Joel at ProShark that put it together, and it's incredible. It's
shout out to ProShark. I'm really excited.
ProShark, exactly. There's not only an amazing front end, but it's got all the back end stuff to it. It's amazing. So
I'm excited. So I went from being like a one-woman show. I'm a content creator. I'm known locally. We're moving towards, we are a full service marketing agency. I have my personal brand to back that up, but I've got 2 employees now. And then now with the implementation of the new website and all that, like you said, the back end systems and stuff, I'm really excited to grow over this next year.
It's good. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. Get to your goal sooner than you think.
Yes, that's the goal. My birthday's today. I'm 32. I want to be doing.
Birthday.
Thank you.
I should have started with that because I knew that before the interview started.
My personal goal is I want to be doing 7 figures in revenue by age 35. And I don't see any reason I can't do that without the proper systems in place, which I'm getting currently. So
absolutely.
That's the goal. Yeah, that's it for me.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So many cool things in the pipeline, so many awesome projects. I look forward to working with you more on both ends. So there's so many cool things going. So thank you, Kelli, for joining the podcast today. I think you are one of the best examples of a person that has taken their expertise, tried it in a few places, and now you have a business that is focused around your expertise. You get to do what you love, and that is very inspiring for me and for everybody that has that desire to be an entrepreneur. So thank you again for coming on to the podcast. I look forward to speaking to everybody next time when we welcome another expert to talk about how they transform their expertise into their business. And I hope you're inspired to get out there and do the same thing. So we'll see you next time.